Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chioma and I make videos on true crimes. I make videos on celebrity gist. I make videos on, trending topics, and I give my own commentary. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about Anini, the hardened criminal of the 1980s. So I figured out that a lot of people don't know about this man. So I decided to make a video about him and I'll just talk about his life and his escapades. Okay, so Anini was born in the year 1960. That is, I think that was on our independence year. Wow. Okay, so he was born in a village or a town that was close to Edo State. But then it was not called Edo State. It was called the Bendel State because Nigeria was not yet divided into the 36 states. I think it was divided to 19 states as of then. So, Anini he did not have a formal education. He just grew up and then he moved to Edo State, Benin City particularly, where he, learned how to drive. And, according to people then, they said Anini was a very happy, a boisterous person that got along, fast with people because, he's an extrovert basically. So he learned how to drive and, he was a bus conductor at some point and a driver at some other point. So yeah, after some point, he migrated from driving, or he transcended from driving. He not really stopped driving, but he transcended from becoming a bus driver to becoming a thief, basically. These people that they call one chance, when you enter their bus, they strip you of all your possessions, all your goodies, all your belongings, and then they push you out empty-handed. You get it, right? That's the kind of business Anini, he emerged into. He became a thief and a bus driver. You get, so business was going fine, business was going good. At some point he decided to engage in some of his peers. Basically he decided to form a gang, right? So he formed a gang with his peers, but they didn't really mention most of their names. They just mentioned two of his peers. They mentioned their name. One of them was Monday Osumbo, and then the other one was Ofege, and then some other names that they didn't mention. So they became bus thieves, if I may call it, or I don't even know how to explain it, but you get my point, right? So after some point, he gained so much courage that he had to, move from robbing people in the bus to robbing banks to robbing corporate organizations, and he even had to he I don't know what gave him so much power, but some people said that he was diabolic. So he knew when to disappear and when not to disappear, while others say that Anini worked with some of the police officers, which made more sense to me. You get, he worked with some of the bankers. So whenever they want to rob a bank, there is already an insider that would inform them of, okay, the road is clear, you can come in, no, don't come in, the money is in the bank, that kind of thing. So I feel like this makes more sense to me, but it might be true. There are some speculations that he was diabolic, he used juju, he used charm, which might be true. Do you get? So they transcended from robbing people in the bus to robbing banks and catering away with a lot of money. And then prior to what I said before, that he worked with some of the policemen and some of the bankers, an incident occurred that enraged him and made him more worse. The incident that made him more worse was that the police officers, quote unquote, betrayed him, because there was an incident that happened and an evidence was caught with two of his members, and at the back, he already settled the police officers, okay, destroy this evidence so that these my gang members will not be prosecuted, right? And then sent to jail or killed by firing squad. But unfortunately for him, the police officers did not live up to his expectations, and they didn't destroy the evidence. So two of his members, which were not mentioned, their names were not mentioned, they were prosecuted and they were killed with firing squad, right? So it enraged Anini, and then he became more, vindictive. He wanted to pay back to the police people, or yeah, basically he wanted to pay back to the police people. Okay, we're supposed to be in business together, but you betrayed me. Okay, I'm going to show you. But then, if you think about it, I mean, since the police officers are already at loggerheads with Anini, don't you think they would have just, giving him up? Or maybe Anini had like evidences against them that they wouldn't like so much budge him out like that. I'm just thinking, like, because when a police officer has an issue with a robber or a thief, the best thing to do is just to like tell tell your superiors, I know this person, I know where I can find him, and boom, he'll be found. But I think maybe Anini also had evidences against these police officers that they worked with him, or he didn't make his intentions known to these police officers, because like, I mean, that's the only way they would have left him. Anyways, a spectacular thing usually happens anytime Anini robs a bank, or robs people basically, or robs big organizations. He would go to the marketplaces, where people don't have a means of livelihood, where people barely eat, and he would spray words of cash and dollars, sorry, not dollars, nairas, worth of cash of nairas, to the society, and people would happily pick up, and he kind of brought the masses over to his side. This was happening in the defunct Bendel state, or I would say Benin City and its environs, so probably Asaba, Delta, and then Warri and Co. So he would spray money to these people, and they would pick up, and they would sing his praises, they would sing his song. Oh, Anini isn't exactly a bad person, all that, and it kind of earned him people's sympathy, if I may say. Okay, so in 1986, I think in August of 1986, Anini and his gang members robbed a bank in Lagos State, because they transcended from Benin City to Lagos State, where there is, let's say, greener pastures, where there is more money. So they went to Lagos State, in a bank in Lagos State. I'm sorry if I'm going to murder this. I'm sorry about that. But a first bank at Sabongida Ora. Yes, a first bank located at Sabongida Ora, where they, guess what, guys? They carted away just the meager sum of 2,000 naira. But this move was in an attempt to pay back to the police officers what they did to him. And guess what? They killed a lot of people during this bank robbery. They injured a lot of people during this bank robbery, and they just 2,000 naira was not exactly so small then, considering our currency, but then it was still small to him. But he just did it to like pay back to the police officers. So he killed a lot of policemen. He also killed a lot of citizens, and he also injured a lot of citizens. And this was one of his like highly widespread operations. Then the second operation that he did was when he snatched a Peugeot 504. This happened in the 5th of September 1986. Remember then that Peugeot 504 was a very, very trending car then. He snatched it from the then Inspector General of Police, known as Christopher Omembem, from his driver Albert Otoe. And guess what? He killed the driver, and then the policeman, the Inspector General of Police, was not even aware. He was not present in the robbery scene. So they killed the driver, and then they dragged him to a nearby place, and they dug a shallow grave and they buried him, and they took the car away. They carted away with the car and some other cash that was inside the car. So these were some of the widespread robbery incidents that this Anini and his gang members did. So just like I said, after robbing, he would go and spread words of cash of nairas to people, and they would be like, he's not exactly a bad person, this, that. So then the general the president of Nigeria then, I would say, was General Ibrahim Babangida. So the news got to him that somebody is causing havoc in the eastern part, or in this it's southern part of Nigeria. Okay, something has to be done. So so after one of the meetings General Ibrahim Babangida had with the Inspector General of Police, he asked him, where is Anini? I need him on the palms of my hand. I need this guy on the palms of my hand. But then Anini was one step ahead of the police officers because he worked with some people. So whenever they schedule an operation to catch him, he was already one step ahead of them because he has inside information. So they could not catch him easily until a superintendent police officer was appointed, and his name was and his name was Kayode Onariro. Sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. So they caught him pants down. I don't mean it like literally. I mean he was in his residence chilling with 6 ladies, and his residence was specifically stated number 26 Onyemosa Street, opposite Iguadelo Primary School, Benin City. That was his residence at the point. So he was caught in the presence of 6 women. So this also happened. He didn't know, and I'm thinking, did he know that these police officers were coming, or did his juju fail him, or that maybe did his insiders not inform him properly? Because I mean, why did they catch him? Okay, so back to the story. They knocked in his door, and then he opened innocently, and he was shocked, but he tried to maintain stance and tried to like pretend immediately. And they asked him, where is Anini? And then in order to be smart, he said Anini is inside the room. He's taking a nap on the bed. And then when the police officers tried to move into the house, he tried to move out, he tried to run out, but then he was caught immediately. And then they fired gunshots. They fired 6 bullets on his right ankle, so he became instantly crippled. And then they asked him again, where is Anini? And he said, and I'll quote, my friend or my brother, I'm going to tell you the truth, I am Anini. And the police officers were like, finally, you've been caught, hands down. Okay, so they transmitted him, or they had to admit him to the general hospital because like he was already crippled, and finally they amputated him, and he was tried and he was sentenced to death by firing squad. But meanwhile, before he died, during then they have to give like a criminal the last chance to say what you want to say. And then he said, my people, I don't shoot anybody. According to him, he said it was his peer Monday Osumbo that shoots, that the only thing he does is to like get money. He's like steal money from people, that he didn't involve his hands in soiling of blood or killing or maiming of people's life. But unfortunately, it was already late because like Monday Osumbo and the other guy had already been caught, and they were already persecuted and killed by firing squad. So I mean, his pleas went on deaf ears because he was still persecuted and found guilty, and then he died via a firing squad. So that was the end of Anini, the hardened criminal. He really caused a lot of terrors in the 1986 and thereabouts. Anyways, tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section down below. I know I might have missed 1 or 2 important information. If you have, just kindly write it in the comment section. If there are things that I didn't say well, or if there are information that I didn't give, please put it down, tell me your opinion, and I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.